Hi, this is Emma Wright. Today I'm going to show you how you can use Fiverr for your book covers as well as for your editing needs. I know that there's a lot of different thoughts about Fiverr. However, I have to say that I've only had very good experiences with them. There had been like maybe one or two vendors which I would not recommend. But on the whole, I have found the vendors are very reliable and also of good quality. Also, there's the issue of ethics, and some people feel like Fiverr, you're just giving people like slave labor, which I don't agree with because, first of all, it's not necessarily $5. And secondly, people from another country want to work. I feel like, you know what, if they're willing to work, it's a willing buyer, willing seller thing. Aside from that, you will find that you will actually get pretty good quality with Fiverr. And I'm going to show you some of the tips and tricks so that you don't get overwhelmed or overcome by fear while going through it because it's the unknown. So let's start. This is where the official Fiverr website is. You just can check it out. It's Fiverr. And this tutorial will be somewhat of a beginner's tutorial. However, if you look at the transcription that I have on the side of my YouTube videos, you will find that you can go to the section whereby I will start talking about the tips and tricks on how to get the very best vendors out there for you. Just to go through the dashboard, if you look here, this is where I'm at. You can set your settings here. This is assuming that you already have a Fiverr account. If you have not, you can just set it up by putting in your email, or you can even register through your Facebook account. So you put your full name there and your email address, and you decide whether you want to go offline or online. And if you go online, but you approach a vendor and they see that you're online, they can respond very quickly, even if they're on the other side of the world. So it's very helpful to have this. The other reason too, I find that it's good to have Fiverr is sometimes if I want a 24-hour turnaround because they're on the other side of the world and I put in my order in the night and it might be expedited. Maybe I have to pay like $10 more, which is not very much at all. I find that by the next morning, they would already have done their work, which is just awesome because basically they're working when I'm sleeping. So it's a really fast turnaround. And also instead of getting a virtual assistant, in fact, you can even find your own virtual assistant through Fiverr. There are virtual assistants out there that can be hired by the hour, by the day, by the month. This is a good way for you to find out which of the tasks that you have would be suitable for having a virtual assistant. So without further ado, let's go on. This is where you put the settings and the security and the notification, the billing. And I have found them to be honorable. They're not going to use your information for illegal activity. It's basically to just pay for the services that you are purchasing through Fiverr. So let's start by going through the dashboard real quick. Look at the dashboard. You'll actually see this is a way for you to figure out what are the messages that you have not read, your billing information, your custom order. And also these are the orders that under buying is where you will see all your orders from the beginning of time. I haven't been using Fiverr for a while, as you can see, as I've been setting up my yourauthorbusiness.com business. Some of them are green and then some of them are grayed out, which means that for some reason this person maybe has stopped using Fiverr. Some people just move on to something else, or maybe they are taking a break. So I've had some vendors where I've used and used again and again, and then find out that, oh my gosh, they've grayed out, which means that they've left, but actually they haven't because they've just gone on vacation. I've used them for different things. I've used them for my WordPress CSS issues. I've used them for create space covers, for Kindle covers. I've used them for reducing the size of my books because of my princess books. There's a lot of illustrations. And so even for formatting, sometimes I feel like, I need special attention for formatting my ebooks. And basically it's like $5 or $10. If you look at the context, these are the buyers and the sellers. And then if you look at the inbox, essentially these are, in people that you've been communicating with. And this is the trick that I wanted to go through with you later on as to why I have people asking me like any work available and stuff like that. And there is a way you can do it whereby, you will actually know who you want and who you don't want. But let's say you are trying to look for an editor. You can do photo editing, video editing. Let's look at video editing, first of all, because I've been doing a lot of videos and I've been editing them myself, and it really does take a lot of time. For instance, like maybe 2 or 3 hours sometimes, because I'm kind of new at this. but apparently it'll get easier as you go along. I hope so. But as you can see here, he says, I will do professional video editing. And even though it says $5, it may not be $5. But you look at here, they have a rating. This person has a 4.9 rating, and 54 people gave them a rating. This person has a 5.0 rating, and they have almost 500 people who've rated them. If you want to, you can also look at relevance. So you can do average customer review or the latest arrivals. If you click on this one, it says, I will do professional video editing in 24 hours. Let's see how much this person costs. So this person, if you look down the web page, you will see that this person has been in business since 2013. That's why I guess almost 500 reviews. And you can kind of look at the description on the left-hand side here. And you can always see that whether, you can want it an upgrade. For instance, if you want it to be done in 24 hours, it's only $5 extra. And if you want additional revisions, it's $5 extra. Different vendors will qualify how they will do the task for you in a particular way. So some people may charge $10 for a 24-hour turnaround time. Then this person, Q Movie, you can contact me. And he says that he will respond to you in just 1 hour. And he is from Serbia. So you also see where the person is from. And this way you can also tell if you need, for instance, editing or transcription work. You may want to order your transcription from someone from the United States or from an English-speaking country. I have found that people from the Philippines and even from India, you will find that they are pretty good at things like transcription. If you look up here, it says favorite. So let's say after going through this information this person has on the left side, I may actually want to have this person whitelisted so I can add him to favorites and he will be in your favorites list. If you look here, you can save the favorites in however you want, whether it's gigs I love or your mobile app, or you can add it to a collection. If I add to a collection, I can put there, it's video editing, and then it will save under this collection. So you can have several collections. Maybe you can have a collection of video editors or book editors or book covers. This is how you do it. And then the other way I also use it is I would actually use Contact Me. And I will leave a short message for this person. Let's say after going through 5 different vendors, I find that there are 2 that I particularly want. So instead of just putting them under the I Love gig or under the video editing collection, what I would do is I would actually send a short email to this person saying that I'm interested in using their services for the future. And this way they'll be in my inbox and they would also respond to me. And you can also kind of sense when they respond to you, whether this is someone that you want to work with and whether their language, the command of the English language is proficient enough such that you may want to work with them or may not want to work with them. And so if you look here, it says that this person is actually online. Usually, if you find if the person is online, they will respond to you within 10 minutes, maybe even 5. So just to move on, I want to also show you what you can do in terms of finding a book and a cover designer using Fiverr. One of the things you will find is that the biggest expense for your book would be your editor, which is a must have. And it's good to have maybe even 2 editors and possibly a proofreader. And we'll go through this in other videos. But the other thing that also costs a lot is your book cover design. You may want to use some of these designers first. And this is what I did. I basically started off with a very expensive cover designer. Then I moved down to Fiverr because I kind of know, well, this is what a good book cover looks like. It's like by going through Amazon. But let's say I want to go through and get a book cover designer. And once it comes up, here, these are all the various book cover designers. Now, again, we can go through by relevance, and you will see that if you go through by relevance, your description is very targeted to what you have actually put here in the search bar. And you can scroll down and kind of see what people have done. You may want to actually even be more specific and say Kindle book cover or Create Space book cover. In addition to the number of reviews that they've had and the kind of rating that they have, you can also see that, for instance, this person here, he has over 400 reviews. He's a little bit more slick. He has a premium cover here, and you can check to see what he gives you for the book covers. For $60 in 2 days, he'll give you 1 revision, and it will be print ready, probably for Create Space. It'll have a 3D image. It'll have a source file, which is important when you want to print the book for commercial use, and it has a backside too because it is for a print cover. And if you go through here, you'll see that a lot of them have actually populated their page with the different works that they've done in the past. So we can go through here and you can see how he's done it. You may like or may not like the book covers that he's done, but you have to bear in mind one thing. Even if you don't like the book covers he's done, let's say you say, this is not such a big deal. Two things I want to let you know. Sometimes authors demand what the book cover must be like. For instance, this person might say, I want to have my cover image there. So that actually limits the designer as to how much they can do. This one was very different from the other one. This one again is very different. And so you can see that some of them are really simple and some may be actually more complicated. But if you scroll down, you will see he has a basic cover, which is just the front cover. And this is only for Kindle, and he gives you a 3D mock-up, which you can use for your website and also for other promotional services. But he has a really good turnaround. It's only in one day that he will give back to you the cover that you've requested for. And you can look through and see what people's reviews of him are. And you can also see he'll give it to you in the various formats, which is JPG, which is what you need for ebooks, PDF, which is what you need for print books, PNG for websites because it loads faster when you have a PNG. And then you have PSD, which is also for print books. He actually has 496 people who've added him to favorites. So you can also compare the packages. So if you order the $60 one, it's Create Space Ready. But I'm not saying that I'm recommending him. Okay, I've never used this guy. I'm not even sure I'm going to use him as a favorite. If you're just starting out, you may want to invest, maybe put aside, say, $100, and try different vendors. You can sort out by average customer review, or you can sort out by newest arrival. Let's go to the newest arrival assortment, and you can see here, for a lot of them, they don't even have any reviews because they're new. But because they're new, you can actually maybe find somebody that is good and will actually give you something that you really like. This person says, I will design a professional nonfiction book cover. They specify nonfiction, so it may be not what you want. But if you look through what they've done, it's actually not true that it's nonfiction. This is, I guess, just mock-ups that they've done, work that they've produced so far. So they might not have any reviews yet, but it doesn't mean that they've never done it before. It could be that they're just new on Fiverr. And this person will actually even give you an animated model. And it's quite a sophisticated vendor because he charges up to $120 for a premium. And the basic is $25 and it goes all the way up. So the $25 is for ebook only. You'll find that for ebook covers, generally you can pay anything between $10 and $35. And if you're starting out, the best way is to go through the ebook covers first for two reasons. One is you don't really know what you want. And secondly, unless you've been working with a vendor, you don't know what their style of work is. So this way you can try out maybe 2 or 3 and find out and figure out which ones you want to use because we all have personal preferences. Last way you can sort out is by the number of stars, or I guess the average number of reviews that they have. So if we look up here, you can see average customer review. You will notice one thing, that even though they do book covers, they will also do other forms of design work. Let's look at this person. She's done quite a few covers. She's a level 2 seller. Again, they have level 1, level 2, and level 3, and then they also have top rated seller. So let's click on this person because this person is supposedly a top rated seller. So her basic is only $10. So she's top rated, which means that a lot of people have recommended her. She has over 24,000 reviews. I've actually added her to my favorites, and I will probably use her for future books. You will all see on the left side what she'll give you, what kind of things she'll give you for the different orders that you've ordered. So you can have just the basic. It goes all the way to the premium. And she's been a member since 2012. So she's been around for 5 years. So I would highly recommend this person, even though I've never used this person. Over 9,000 people have actually added her to favorite. So you might want to add her to a favorite. Some of them will actually do a video interview. So you can kind of almost interview them not in person, but at least through video. So I hope you have found that this video is helpful to you. Again, if you want to go back and see some of the areas that I've covered, you can look at the transcripts and kind of know where I've touched on different things. So I guess that's all for now. This is Emma Wright from Your Author Business, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel here down below. And also please go to yourauthorbusiness.com and subscribe to my free e-course while it's still free. And I hope to see you. Take care. Bye-bye.